Have you ever wondered what it looks like when art, faith, and pure power get carved directly into a mountain? Well, today we are diving into one of the most incredible artistic achievements in all of human history, the Longmen Grottoes. So let's just start with a number that's, honestly, it's kind of hard to even wrap your head around. Over 100,000. That's how many Buddhist statues are carved into this one spot. Just try to picture that for a second. And we're not talking about a bunch of little figurines here. No way. This is an entire cliff face, stretching over a kilometer long, that was completely transformed by hand into this gigantic open-air gallery. It's an absolutely monumental project that took centuries to complete. So that brings up the big question, right? What on earth could possibly drive generations of people to dedicate their lives to carving a mountain? Well, the answer is this amazing mix of politics, religion, and, you guessed it, immense power. Okay, first things first, we have to really get a sense of the sheer, staggering ambition of this project. This was a statement written in stone for the entire world to see. So where did it all begin? Well, the very first chisels hit that limestone during the Northern Wei dynasty. And this was a time of massive political and religious change in China. The whole story really kicks off in 493 CE. The emperor decides to move his capital to a city called Luoyang, and almost immediately, work begins on the nearby Longmen Cliffs. This first super intense burst of carving went on for about 30 years before it started to slow down. So why go to all the trouble of carving a mountain? Well, for one, it was a genius political move. By creating this incredible site, the emperor made his new capital, Luoyang, look powerful and legitimate. It was a massive flex. But it was also a deeply personal act of faith, a way to show devotion to Buddhism, and, for the elites, a way to earn some serious spiritual points for the afterlife. But the story doesn't stop there. Not even close. After things quieted down for a bit, the powerful and super prosperous Tang dynasty came along, and they took the art at Longmen to a whole other level. This was its absolute golden age. And the undisputed star of the show from this era is the massive Vairocana Buddha. It's been described as having a face of serene power, embodying cosmic truth. I mean, that really paints a picture, doesn't it? It perfectly captures what the Tang dynasty was all about. The size of this thing is just mind-blowing. The main Buddha is over 17 meters tall. That's like a 5-story building. And its creation was paid for by the one and only Empress Wu Zetian. Here's a fun little rumor. It's said that the Buddha's powerful face was actually modeled on the Empress herself. Talk about a fusion of divine and imperial power. You know, this jump from the Northern Wei to the Tang dynasty wasn't just about politics. It was a huge deal for the art itself, and you can literally see the evolution of style carved right there in the rock. You can see the difference so clearly. The early Northern Wei figures, they're very slender, kind of otherworldly, with these long faces and simple, abstract-looking clothes. But then you get to the Tang style and boom, everything is powerful and realistic. You have these full-bodied figures with real human expressions in totally natural poses. It's a huge shift in worldview, from something distant and divine to something confident and very human. All of this incredible history and artistic evolution has created a legacy that's recognized today as a treasure for the entire world. And that legacy became official in the year 2000. When UNESCO named the Longmen Grottoes a World Heritage Site. That basically means it's recognized as an absolute masterpiece of human creativity, something so important it has to be protected for everyone, forever. So, we've seen how emperors and empresses left their mark, and how art changed over time. But when you look at this incredible achievement, you can't help but wonder about the thousands of artists and workers whose names we'll never know. It really makes you think, if these cliffs could talk, what other stories of faith, power, and artistry would they tell?